Alright, I'm back. I want to try to get one or two more videos in tonight, I think. Set me up for a week. I think we're probably going to focus on taxi missions. Although I'm tempted to just keep going crazy, honestly. Like, I know I could do at least one more. So it's like, if you can do one more, should you? Maybe we'll give it one more. What do we got here? Too far, I think. 209 mil. Am I not on the right side of the fucking... Still get a little lost here. I think what I'm looking for is on the other side of the street. Oh, I can't believe I messed up
been on a ship for 65 days.
and
So
did 1 second too early on the last
Thanksgiving
one.
quickly became an annual custom. America was founded by people who wanted a place where they could tell other people how to live. And I'm a history major. But do we have the right? The question, is it moral to celebrate Thanksgiving, a holiday that is clearly about gluttony, annoying relatives, and awful casserole?
Well, I for one love a casserole, and at my weekly meeting, my congregation has a potluck. You see, a casserole is a lot like life, Maurice, and that's the
My goodness.
bake it. Somebody'll probably eat it. It's like my book. You believe in your favorite sports team, then they get massacred. You believe in gravity, then it turns upside down on you. You love your favorite TV show, then the network ends it with a lousy finale. But you can believe in me, and if you believe in something, support it. It's one thing to love something, but if you don't shower it with money, then just don't talk to me. Communism,
strong-ass
don't
cone.
make me puke my guts
Take
out,
off the
please.
fucking side of my
Well, I myself love casseroles
car.
on Thanksgiving. And the way to teach your children the rich history of America is through theme parks. I just love Pilgrim World, especially the part where you get to slaughter your own buffalo and take home the meat, or give the locals the flu while buying their land off them for a pittance. That's what children need.
What is?
Wholesome activities that benefit the family. Now, what good is it if a kid plays Degeneratron for 5 hours? Oh, sure, he's killing space aliens, thank you very much, but it ain't putting food on the table. And he's learning bad language, like bleep, bleep, bleep. When my family go out to dinner, we're starting from scratch, even if Daddy is working late, again. We build our own spears, smear ourselves in dung, and then wait in a swamp for something to come by.
In the suburbs? I bet your neighbors love you.
There it
How
is.
long do you wait? Don't you get arrested?
200 mil.
Mister, I'm married. Look at the thing.
Well, I don't think we're getting another one. I think I could potentially do it a second faster. Damn.
Why, you stupid chump? What do you
But it's not. It's just not worth it. So what am I doing? Yeah, I really just fucked up. This is spinning. I don't know though, we did that, it's almost, I'm trying to remember how fast, because I think this is the point where last time I didn't fuck up and do it a second too fast on one of the runs, and I did one more run, I'm pretty sure, but it was like less than a second faster than the previous run. And that's how like it sent me over $1 billion. But it caps out at 999,999,999. So it didn't actually give it to me. Anyway. Get this. Check that out for no fucking reason. And do some ambulance missions, because we fucking love ambulances.
This is radio control. We got problems downtown. Backup requested, over.
This is 4754. I got
Unfortunately, I feel like I got all my talking out during the taxi missions. Because this will be a good time to have like a really long conversation about God knows what. And it's, you know, it's just like, you can't have the radio going. You gotta be like fast, but also somewhat careful that you're not beating up the freaking ambulance. And the money is just gonna be rolling for a while here. Because I think we're gonna be at like 417 million or something like that. 416 million. I'm still mad that I did it a second too fast on one of the runs. So this gives us infinite sprint, which once again, it's not really necessary to be doing a half of this stuff, but I really like infinite sprint. I don't like being limited. I don't like the limited sprint. I feel like I need to try to figure out something to talk about, but I'm just gonna end up talking about the same thing I just fucking talked about during the taxi missions. I guess I could. Ooh, no, don't. Come on, man. Oh my goodness. Get up. Get in the freaking ambulance. But yeah, I guess like. So, like I was saying before, I'm still kind of playing around with, the idea of if I'm going to have multiple channels, what the multiple channels are going to consist of. I really am kicking myself in the butt that I haven't had like a vlog channel where I did like a progression of life kind of standpoint or fucking view. I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say. Story, I guess is the best way to put it. Because like, okay, so I guess I'll just go ahead and say, like, I flipped my car drunk driving at the end of 2018, I think it was. And then it took a while, but I ended up getting into treatment. It was a 2-year treatment program I just got out of at the middle of last year, 2024. So I guess I started in 2022. Which, yeah, so I mean, it was basically 3.5 years of. I think it was about 3.5 years. I mean, COVID started, it kind of slowed everything down. And then just trying to get everything settled properly with the courts. So I can get into treatment, kind of do like a deferred prosecution thing. And no, yeah, and it's like I'm still kind of dealing with it because like I've got ignition interlock device in my vehicle right now, which that was kind of like last year was a big year for me. Like between getting done with treatment, I got a vehicle around Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, stuff like that. I ended up getting a decent laptop where I can kind of do the recordings and kind of the day trading stuff I talked about and all that stuff. Which has been an important push for me. And then part of getting the vehicle was getting the blow and go installed so that I can drive legally. And I'll be done with the blow and go this year, providing everything goes well. I should be done at the end of May.
What's the deal with the SWAT guys? How much do those guys make? They always got the real flash cars.
How much do those guys make? And no, I think that it would have been really cool if, like, because I was just smoking weed and drinking since I was like 12 years old, and it pretty much was like an everyday thing.
This is a notice from the chief. All overtime payments have been
Oh my God, where am I going?
canceled.
Until I flipped my vehicle, and then it was like, oh my God, like, what am I doing with my life? And so, I figured it was time to freaking get sober. Which, like I said, it took a few years to actually get into treatment. It was a slow process with the courts and stuff. And so it's been a bit of a process. But it's like just like from the time I had my accident, I felt like it would have been a good idea to kind of keep track of how things are going from day to day. And I could have had, like 4 years of videos or whatever. Or I guess 6 years of videos basically on like, hey, this is how my life is going from day to day. This is what I'm working towards. This is what I'm trying to get to. This is where I'm at, you know. And like I was saying before, you know, not every day is a picnic. You know, there's a lot of days where I feel really good about where I'm at with my life, considering where I used to be, just the progress that I've made and everything. Oh my god, I'm wrecking this fucking ambulance. But no, I mean, overall, generally, I do feel pretty good with where I'm at today. And like I'm saying, you know, there is some days are still bad days, but I used to have a lot more kind of like depression episodes where it'd be like several days to a week at a time, maybe multiple times a year. I would just be very down in the dumps about where I'm at in my life. I'd just be like, oh my goodness, you know, like I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not where I want to be. I'm just sitting here smoking and drinking all the time, which cool. I'm having fun with my friends on, you know, playing video games or whatever. But well, I wasn't doing anything with my life besides that. Nothing to get to where I want to go. You know, I'm taking pretty much at least one day off work each week just to freaking party, pretty much. Like there wasn't really a reason for it. I just fucking wanted to party, which my boss was really cool about it. You know, I basically told him I was, you know, they had diarrhea or whatever, come up with some dumb excuse. But it was like, he knew that eventually I would be better and that I had a lot of potential. It's kind of what it felt like. Like, eventually I would be the person that he needed me to be. And I feel like now I'm kind of fulfilling that. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm sure that he wishes I was a little better than I am right now as far as like knowledge and capability. I work in the construction field, but it's just like night and day compared to when I was drinking and smoking all the time. Like how much I know just in the last, it seemed like the first 7 years in construction, I didn't really learn anything. And here in the last couple years, it feels like I've just gone leaps and bounds compared to where I used to be. And I mean, I guess you know, I did gain some knowledge while I was fucking drunk and high all the damn time. As far as like work-related shit goes. And you know, it kind of got me more comfortable with the tools a little bit more than anything. Which is cool, it was necessary to kind of be comfortable with the tools, but also respect the tools at the same time. Like, you don't want to just feel like you're so comfortable with the tools that you're doing stuff that isn't safe and end up, you know, losing a finger or something like that. That's kind of how people end up losing fingers, arms, whatever, because, you know, they're not respecting the power tools or whatever. But it just seems like here in the last, I don't know, I guess it's been over the course of the last couple of years, several years. I feel like I've always tried to be pretty responsible. But I used to do a lot more blaming and like trying to change other people, including my boss. So it's like, you know, like you're the reason why things aren't going right, blah, blah, blah. And here, you know, in the last couple of years working with them, I've really gotten to a point where just in general, like I see things as they are. You know, I try to kind of get people to see how what they have or haven't done might, you know, not be contributing to the problem. Well, it contributes a lot to the problem. But, you know, I try to get them to see how they could do things to kind of be more beneficial, or, you know, just kind of plan ahead a little bit better. and be more prepared for upcoming job situations, whatever the case may be, whether you're dealing with, you know, somebody that's like you're arguing with, or just trying to be prepared for a job, or, you know, just being prepared for potential outcomes. But at the same time, while I'm trying to help other people prepare, you know, for whatever outcomes may occur, and kind of help them be aware of that stuff. Like, I'm focusing on that immensely for myself as well. Like, if I see somebody's behavior, basically how something happens at work where it's like, oh, usually when we do this type of work, you know, the boss forgets to bring this or that or the other thing. Like, I'm just going to get it myself in most cases, and then I don't have to worry about relying on him for something. And it's just kind of like learning not to blame people for their actions and say, this isn't working because you're the problem. You know, it's kind of like, okay, well, this is the situation. How do we go about it from here? What can we do better next time to make this go smoothly? And another thing I've been working on, which it might be a little obvious that I still need a little bit more work on it, is just speaking more fluently. Not necessarily fluently, but just like not getting hung up on my words or sentences as much. Being more articulate, I think, is maybe a better way to put it. I used to say there was like a special word for it that I really liked, but it never seemed like it really fit into sentences very well. Eloquent. Like being more eloquent. I believe it's just like, you know, I want my words to sound like music to the ear. Like, it's just so easy to comprehend what I'm saying, and being able to comprehend what I'm saying. That might be a big way of saying this. That a better way of saying what I'm trying to say is just speaking more coherently, as well as just, you know, having more words to say. Stop getting hung up on my words so much. Stop saying like and, or maybe not and. Well, just not saying like as much. I don't know what the issue is with, like, when I start talking. It seems like, especially when I'm recording, it just feels like my freaking throat gets fucking clogged up or something. And I feel like I need to clear my throat every freaking 2 seconds. It can get a little frustrating sometimes.
Some maniac keeps stealing ambulances. Keep a lookout. Over.
Oh, that was me stealing the ambulance. My bad. So, when we pick people up and drop people off, it does heal the ambulance a little bit, which is nice. But I do want to try to be careful not to, like, damage it too much. If I can knock some doors off, it's usually pretty beneficial, just to get people in and out of the vehicle a little bit faster. But anyway, back to what I was saying about, like, the speech thing. Like, I have definitely gotten better with my speech and speaking more coherently and stuff like that. A little bit more eloquently. Being able to articulate my words a little better. In the past, even in the past couple months, I feel like I've gotten better at it, being able to explain things a little better at work. And half of it's definitely just like knowing what you're trying to say, like using certain words. Like when you're talking about something, just being able to specify a little bit better what you're talking about. You know, like I could talk about freaking at work, you know, for example, like
We got real problems in the beach.
Joyce hangers or whatever, but sometimes we need like hurricane clips, and I've been calling them like Z brackets, but they're not called Z brackets, they're called freaking hurricane clips. And it's like just
Message from the captain.
being able to differentiate things a little bit easier
Anyone. I'm on it.
really goes a long way when it comes to trying to explain what you're looking at, what you're trying to do, what you need, and then people aren't sitting there scratching their head going, what the heck did you just say? You know, one of the popular things that I've heard is like, if you can't explain it to a 5-year-old, you don't know it enough yourself. And I think that that's a really cool way of looking at it. Like, if you can, and I don't think I'm anywhere near there yet. I guess saying like all the time too. Just getting, like, saying one specific word over and over again. If you can try not to do that, and kind of have a bit more of a variety in your vocabulary, because there's so many words for like different things that there's a lot of times, like I was saying, like articulate, eloquence, coherently speaking, like those, I'm pretty much saying the same thing in all those words.
We got a breakdancer with a broken
I'm just
back.
saying it,
Downtown.
I'm using a different word to say it pretty much. And then it just gives your sentences so much more variety that it doesn't feel like you're repeating yourself as much. I guess that's another thing I need to work on, is how much I repeat myself. Like if I start talking about something, I'll kind of go around in a circle and then just kind of start talking about the same thing over and over again. And it's like, dude, just calm down, say it once, and be done with it. Just, there's no reason to talk about how you're trying to speak more coherently fucking 5 times. Oh no! I can't believe I did that.
You never had a real broad in your life. She was my girlfriend, pal. I didn't have to pay for it.
That's upsetting to me.
This is radio control.
I was like halfway through the fucking missions.
Requested, over.
And now I gotta figure out something else to talk about. Fuck. It's been a while since I actually failed one of those.
What do you think?
419 mil. Part of me feels like I could do the cone crazy thing one more time if I really wanted to, but I don't have a need to. I don't have a need to do much of anything at this point. I gotta get 100 packages and I gotta do the fucking
Radio control. Disturbance in progress, over.
missable trophies. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, we're gonna try to have a little bit of fun with this. I'm thinking we might end up doing San Andreas at some point before GTA 6 comes out. And I don't know if we're going to do the PS4 version or the PS5 version, but it'll probably be the
1327, nothing going on.
definitive edition. Whichever one I do. because I'm pretty sure I've already gotten the actual the older version. Pretty sure I've already got that platinum, and I'm pretty sure I recorded the whole thing too and uploaded it to YouTube. Which one thing that frustrates me the most about the definitive edition of San Andreas is that there was this like super bike jump where you get on a BMX with a Uzi or a submachine gun in general. It doesn't have to be the Uzi. And you like when you go to jump, when you release jump, you hit circle like half a second afterward, and you do like a ridiculously higher jump. And you know, of course, you jump higher depending on what your bike skill is. But I used to love that. You used to be able to jump onto buildings like that, like no problem. And I used to just have a lot of fun, just like mess around on the bike, freaking kind of sliding down rails on it sideways. Which I guess I could still do that. I might try to have a little bit of fun with San Andreas. But I might try to play something else in between this game and that game. Get a little bit more variety in. I can't believe I ran over the freaking passenger, man. Disappointed in myself. You better do that stuff on like a low level. I think I was on level 7 or 8. And it's like, dude, you're already halfway through. You're gonna ruin it now? But yeah, speaking a little bit more coherently, eloquently, all that stuff is something that I keep working towards as I go through life. I don't necessarily feel like I need to be able to like talk in front of crowds necessarily, but it's not a bad skill to have. And like if I do have a moment in time where I need to do something like that, then I like to be able to do so without looking like, oh geez, they should have had somebody else do this. You know, I don't like that, Allie. It's been an interesting journey so far, you know, like trying to just keep making progress in my own life. And it's like I have all these different ambitions, and you know, they say like, show me, like you're the average of the people that you spend the most time around. But to some extent I feel like that's true for me. But it's also like, I hate to sound fucking, I guess arrogant would probably be the word, but I feel like I'm better than a lot of people I spend the most time around. Like half the time I feel like I'm freaking better than my boss, besides like he has, you know, a way better business perspective and can talk to people a lot better than I can. And then like I live at my grandma's, and I hate to say that being 34 years old now, but I just haven't really done anything. I've wasted a lot of time. I spent my 20s partying when I should have been trying to get ahead. I borrowed a lot of money from her for like drugs and alcohol and stuff, and yeah, I just wasted a lot of time, and I had to kind of get into even more debt here lately. Between, like, I guess when I got sober, I got caught up on my debt pretty well, but then I wanted to get my teeth fixed, and that was almost $10,000 to get my teeth fixed. And once again, pretty much don't have anything. And so I figured out
Money, no funny bunny, honey.
getting basically a couple grand to get my teeth fixed, and then kind of getting on a payment plan for the rest.
We got a stolen squad car driving erratically.
But then it's like, it got to the point where I was taking the bus to work all the time with like a 60, 70 pound backpack full of tools and my skateboard. But it just got to the point where we were getting jobs that was outside of like the bus route and stuff like that, even taking multiple buses. And so I had to, save up a couple grand and get a vehicle. And so I did that. But because I needed to get the freaking ignition interlock device, I wanted to make sure I got a good vehicle. So I ended up getting a brand new vehicle. Because I was concerned about, like, oh, if I get something used and it breaks down, then I'm spending more money to take the interlock ignition device out to put it into a different vehicle, and it's just going to add to more charges. And I was like, you know what, I'd rather just have a new vehicle, not have to worry about that, and be like happy with what I drive. And a lot of people will say that that was a very poor financial decision. And sure, I could have got something cheaper. I could have got a new vehicle that was cheap. I got a 2024 Subaru Crosstrek. And I got like the limited edition. I got a bunch of different stuff for it.
We have a stolen squad car.
Just to kind of feel good about like what I'm driving. Like, I'm going to be driving this for, the next 8 to 10 years at least. Like, I want to make sure I get something that I like. And especially if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I don't want to get something that I'm going to hate later on. And I mean, it's a good vehicle. It's got good mileage. It's reliable. And Subarus tend to keep their value pretty well. So even when I'm done paying it off, I can probably still sell it for, 12, 15,000, depending on like the mileage and the condition. But I take pretty good care of my stuff. And I make sure to, like, I got, seat liners and all this different stuff to kind of keep it in good condition. Even though I'm working construction, I mean, I haven't even had it for a year yet, but it's still in pretty good condition. I ended up closing the door on the freaking seatbelt, so I've got like this little nick on the inside of the door frame or whatever. And then I've got like a couple really small little scratches here and there, and like, I think there was like a pebble that hit the windshield, but there's just like a little dot in the windshield. It's not like cracked or anything bad, but there's a couple things that, the seatbelt and the door thing was definitely like a my bad situation. But I don't know, like, I got like a 5-year, 50,000 mile warranty on the freaking car. It's got the manufacturing warranty. And then I take it in for oil changes when I'm supposed to and stuff like that. As long as I keep doing that stuff, it should hold its value pretty well. So especially if I keep maintaining the inside of the car as well as I have been. Despite the little accidents here and there. So I mean that was a big expense. That was I think it was like 36,000 for the limited edition of the Subaru Crosstrek, and then I ended up getting like a couple additional things for it, plus the seat liners and everything. I probably spent about 42,000 on it, maybe even a little bit more.
Saw his wife. No wonder he likes them magazines.
And you know, like I was saying, it's a liability as much as it is an asset because I need that to get back and forth to work. My job is pretty good. I'm making decent money. And so it's like I can afford, and like I had been building my credit. Thankfully, my boss convinced me to get a credit card when I was like 25 or something like that. And so I've been working on building my credit up for several years. So when I went in to get the car, getting the vehicle was not a big issue. And then I got basically financed the car through my bank, which my bank gave me a decent interest rate on it, where like I was looking at trying to refinance the car probably a little bit too soon, but it looked like I was getting offers for like a 6% interest rate, which was I think what I got now is like 8%.
We got a stolen car, robbery in progress.
So I went ahead and tried, and they're like, "Oh no, we can't, we can't give you the 6%." I was like, "What the heck? Why did I get have an advertisement or whatever for a 6% pre-qualified refinance on it if I wasn't able to get it? You know, whatever." But I think it also had to do with like I did the longest term loan possible, just because like just the way everything worked. I think I was supposed to get full coverage on my vehicle anyway because of having the ignition interlock device. Interlock ignition? No, it's the ignition interlock. Anyway, I call it a freaking blow and go. That's kind of what people generally call it. I think is a blow and go. But the technical term for it, I think, is ignition interlock device. Jesus Christ, why do people always gotta stand here next to the freaking cops?
We got a serious problem down here.
Oh my goodness, get out of the fucking way.
Now, come on.
So I'm trying to think of anything I can possibly freaking talk about. So this is kind of a boring. I feel like I'm going into detail about stuff that might be better off not even talking about. Okay. So anyway, got my teeth fixed, got the vehicle. The vehicle, you know, some people look at it as a liability. See it as a little bit of a both. You know, I didn't need to get it as expensive of a car as I did. Getting something reliable, sure, whatever. If I feel like it's necessary, I could have got like a $20,000 brand new vehicle. But like I said, I wanted to get something that I would be happy with, and so I got what I got. And I also was thinking that I wanted to be able to drive through the mountains without having to worry about chaining up and stuff like that. And with the good gas mileage, and it's a Subaru, so it's all-wheel drive. So that all just kind of worked out really well. I went in, got it. I was happy with it. First time having a new vehicle. Pretty much nobody I know has ever had a new vehicle. And I feel like there's just an issue with that. Like, yeah. I'm not somebody who sees myself as I can't afford nice things. And I feel like everybody around me just has this very poor mindset where it's like, oh, I don't need a new vehicle, and new vehicles are just, so expensive, and why wouldn't you just get a cheap vehicle that could end up breaking down? It's like I always hear about, like, oh, yeah, I've got a deal on this vehicle for you for a couple grand, and then I'm like, oh, I don't want it. And then somebody else takes it, and it breaks down within a week, and I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't fucking take it. And then everybody's like, why didn't you just get a used vehicle? It's like, because of this bullshit. I don't want it to fucking break down after having it for a week, or a couple of months, or even a fucking year. I want something reliable.
We got real problems in the beach.
And I don't want to feel like I'm fucking poor all the time. I'm fucking tired of this poor mentality bullshit. And that's, like, I'm so, like, pushing for a better lifestyle where having a new vehicle isn't something unheard of. I want to fucking
Bag anyone.
make friends with people who are, like, trying to better their lives and, like, want more than just the bare fucking minimum that life has to offer. Just so sick of the mentality around it.
Easy on the giggles.
This shit. Anyway,
We got a request for backup. 2 cars going.
I think we're about back to where we were when I ran somebody over. But yeah, I guess keep on with the conversation. Getting a laptop. We've had like one computer when I was growing up back in like 1998 or something like that. And, it was like dial-up internet days. You can't be on the phone and be on the internet at the same time. There wasn't, and I had no idea about doing anything back then as far as like making money. So I didn't have any ambitions on making money. I was going to school. I was like 6, 7 years old, something like that.
Hey, you nut! Get some glasses!
And here, when I turned, I don't know how old I was, but it was fun. Like, I used to go to, oh my goodness, like in high school, the cop just jumped right in front of my vehicle. I'm glad I only got 1 star for that. Like, even in high school, we didn't have a computer, and we would get assignments where it's like, hey, you have to do this on the computer. I'm like, well, if I don't have a computer, and then everyone's laughing at me because I'm the only fucking kid in school without a computer. It's like embarrassing and shit. And I feel like I missed out on a lot of shit because I didn't have a computer and I didn't have the money for a computer. And then in my 20s, it was like when I should have had a computer and started like trying to figure out making money online and shit. I was too concerned about getting my next fucking bag of weed and getting drunk to even be able to think about affording something like that. Like, my first vehicle was a $1,200 vehicle, and I didn't even want to spend the money on that. My boss actually had to hold my paycheck for like 2 weeks just so I can afford to get the damn vehicle because he knew I wanted to have the money. So it's been a fucking roller coaster of a life.
I didn't expect to see you here. Yo, my man, you
But yeah, so my goal last year was to get the computer, which later on into the year, I started having to help. It helped my friend out with rent. Okay, it's a weird situation,
Nothing going on.
and it's like I didn't want her fucking up her credit because she got pushed into something that she wasn't financially ready for. And so I told her I'd help her out. But I told her I'd only be able to help her out for a couple months.
We got a request for backup.
And then,
Go down and
like, I couldn't do it long term because, you know, I just couldn't afford to. And here it is almost half a year later, and I'm still helping her. And I'm just hoping, I think by the end of the year at the latest, I'll be done. But really, I'm hoping at tax time, like, she'll get some money that I won't have to help her anymore. We'll see how it goes, though. But I was so determined to get a laptop, so I can start working on doing the day trading thing, being able to record videos, you know, make fucking stores online, whatever the case may be. To kind of start getting ahead in life, start working on, you know, my goals, my dreams outside of relying on my job for a paycheck. And it seemed like the more the months went by, the more it seemed like I just didn't have the money to get the laptop. And so I ended up, like, buying a laptop just totally on my credit card. Actually, basically maxed out one of my credit cards, which actually put me in a bad position, and it hurt my credit quite a bit too. So instead of, like, I'm so concerned about helping this girl, you know, not fuck up her credit, that I'm fucking up my own credit. I mean, it wouldn't be just that for her, but she wouldn't have a place to live, and there would just be a whole bunch of bullshit that went involved with that. But yeah, no, it's been difficult for me because I'm like trying to pay off my credit cards. I'm still buying shit that I can't really afford. And it's like I still need to put money into, like, the computer thing a little bit here and there. Like, I opened up the brokerage account that I want to do the day trading stuff through. But I still need to fund it. And plus there's still some softwares that I need to purchase to keep things going on like the progression side of doing the internet thing, laptop stuff. I don't know enough about laptops because I never had a fucking computer before of my own. And so it's like I'm basically learning from scratch. It's like basically trying to teach a freaking old person how to use a cell phone. Yeah, it's just a really big pain in the ass. I've pretty much, like, taken this week off of really doing anything towards the laptop. Like, I basically was working on getting my room set up after I got the laptop, because come on.
This is a notice from the chief. All overtime payments have been canceled. Have a great day. Over.
Because I still had so much clutter in my room. Like, I didn't even have room for the laptop setup that I wanted. I had a computer desk that I had filled up with a whole bunch of other crap. and it was like my room was just this unorganized, dysfunctional fucking being, pretty much.
We got an incident at the mall.
And I still had a whole bunch of shit I was kind of like hoarding almost. Like I had like, oh, I'll keep all this clothing that I can sell online and this and that and the other thing, and people were giving me shit to sell online, and it was like I just kind of needed a fresh start. Yeah, see, we would have been done by now. And now this video's about done with, and I'm not done yet. Because I fucked up and ran someone over.
You begged me. Hey, watch yourself, man.
So anyway, I'm just doing everything I can to kind of keep things going, keep paying off my expenses, which I've actually been behind on rent by like over a year at this point, which I think it's over a year, which I hate to say it, but I'm really fucking grateful and fortunate that my grandma's been so lenient on it, and like she'll buy groceries for me and shit. And she doesn't like, she's not flipping out too much about seeing me buy shit for myself that I need. And but I mean, part of that's just communicating with her about what's going on. She's so understanding because I do communicate about like what I'm doing, what my plans are, when I feel like I can start paying her again. Which I don't take any of this stuff for granted, I'll tell you that. I'm so thankful for the position I'm in, the people I have in my life, especially like my family. You know, I've got a lot of goals as far as like getting to a spot where, you know, I can make some friends who, you know, on kind of like the making money side of things, just friends who are after their goals a bit more, which I do. Like some of my friends have definitely shown more interest in kind of being more goal oriented and stuff since I've kind of been growing more. I mean, I got friends who kind of see what I'm doing and they feel like I'm selfish, which to a certain extent I do feel like I've been being a little selfish when I'm behind on rent so much. You know, it does kind of feel like I'm taking advantage of the situation I'm in sometimes, where I'm living and stuff. But it's almost kind of essential just to kind of keep things going on my own, or start to get things going on my own. And it's just stuff I don't take for granted, you know, like I'm planning on, you know, paying my grandma off and everything like that. And like I said, at the middle of the year, I think that once I have like my teeth paid off, because getting my teeth fixed was one of the most important things for me to start working on when I got sober. You know, getting the vehicle and stuff going, whatever, the laptop, helping my friend out with rent, which I think that'll probably be done around the middle of the year, if not sooner. Like I said, the blow and go, the teeth payment, stuff like that is all going to be done between, you know, basically tax time and the middle of the year. And so I'm just being patient, but also anxious. Anyway, I hope I didn't bore anybody out of their minds too much. This is...
Hey, smell my finger.
Anyone got any jokes?
Yeah, before I even drop this group of people off, I need to call it a video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.